You've clicked on an English Exposed video where I expose the truth about English. Today we're going to be looking at some spelling errors and some grammar mistakes. So let's get started. Here's the first phrase. Binge watch. As in, I enjoy binge watching this YouTube channel. What does that mean? Well, it's the practice of watching entertainment or informational content for a prolonged period of time. For example, he binge-watched the series Friends. She is binge-watching old episodes of The Love Boat. And what do I like to binge-watch? I like binge-watching Harold Does Horror on YouTube.
Hello there.
Yes, this is the channel I like to binge-watch when I'm bored. This sock puppet makes me laugh by doing comical walkthroughs of online horror games that he plays. And while watching these videos, I have come across a few errors. Yes, errors. No, Harold did not write these sentences. These were in the game that he was reviewing. Let's look at some errors from a game called George Likes Lasagna. By the way, this is George. Yikes. And as Harold would say,
This will mess you up.
and these errors will mess you up too. So let's fix them. So could you fix this sentence? You lasagna was terrible and Big George dead from cringe. Oh, where do I begin with this one? The spelling looks good. Lasagna is always a tricky word to spell. I mean, how many A's? We need to change the you to a possessive your. Your lasagna was terrible. Terrible is in all capital letters or all caps, but that's okay because it tells me that I'm being yelled at. And Big George is his name, so that's okay. Your lasagna was terrible, and Big George, dead. We're missing a little word. What is it? If you said is, you're right. Your lasagna was terrible, and Big George is dead from cringe? This is what a cringe looks like. He's cringing. This is cringe. You can't die by just doing that face. So, what would someone die from if they ate bad food? Well, you can't really die from food poisoning, but we could say, your lasagna was terrible and Big George almost died from food poisoning. But since it's a game, I guess you could say, your lasagna was terrible and Big George is dead from food poisoning. That'll work. Here's the next one. You put too much mayo and crap yourselved? Even Harold had trouble saying that one.
I put too much mayo and crap yourselved.
So obviously that's not a word. And who puts mayo in lasagna? Okay, so let's say Big George likes mayonnaise in his lasagna. I'll post the short I did on ways to say vomit. Okay, so you put too much mayo. We need a little word in this sentence somewhere. Where would you put the word in? You put in too much mayo. Good. Or did you say you put too much mayo in? You can say this either way. You put in too much mayo and we don't need that you because we have you at the beginning of the sentence. What is the past tense of crap? Right. You put too much mayo in and crapped. Well, we know yourselved isn't a word, right? So we'll take off that D and add a period. That punctuation is important. You put too much mayo in and crapped yourself. Right. I think Harold would approve too.
Okay.
If you'd like to see some more of Harold's videos, I'll post the link in the description box below. And a quick thank you to Harold for allowing me to use these clips. What things do you like to binge watch? Let me know in the comment section below. Another channel I like to watch is Linus Tech Tips. On occasion, you'll see words on the screen like in this picture. This just proves that even native speakers get things wrong. This is a sentence, so it does need a punctuation mark, but there's another punctuation that's missing as well. Do you see it? Yes, an apostrophe. If we add that and an exclamation mark, this looks a lot better. Don't you agree? You will see bad spelling, missing punctuation, and terrible grammar in shorts, videos, and even in pictures. Test yourself when binge watching your favorite things and see if you can find any mistakes. If you're like me, you like to shop online. Here are a few things that I found that worked, well. Let's look at this again. Did you find any mistakes? Does not work, but could be fun to fix. This is okay for a sign. Remember that writing in caps means you're yelling, but this is a sign and it's fine. You could add "it does not work." That's okay too. But did you see the sentence at the top? That's not okay. Yes, it should have a punctuation mark at the end, and since this is just pointing something out, we can use a colon to give the sign emphasis. Anything else? What about the word there? That's why English is so difficult. Words that sound the same but have a different spelling and a different meaning are called homophones. And those darn things make spelling difficult, even for a native speaker. So, this sentence should be written, people selling their cars on Marketplace. And do you see how I wrote Marketplace? This is a name of a group, so capital M, and it's one word, not two. Someone is pointing out the fact that this isn't a car, and that's why it's written like this. That's kind of funny, isn't it? A record player in the car section. Cannot believe I gotted this on film. Okay, there are a few things wrong with this. Do you see the errors? First, we need a subject, right? I cannot believe that's not a word. Gotted. That's not a word. What's the past tense of get? Got. I cannot believe I got this on film. And don't forget the punctuation at the end. A period. I cannot believe I got this on film. Now it's grammatically correct. But what about the word film? I don't think it's film. But the sentence is correct, so we'll leave it at that. Otherwise, it would be written totally different. Anyway, the focus here is, I cannot believe I got this on film. Period. Were you able to correct all of the mistakes today? You know, the best way to improve vocabulary, grammar, and spelling is by reading. Now, on Fridays, I post stories. So you can look at the grammar, you can look at spelling, and you can even improve your vocabulary. So make sure you check out some of those videos. And if you liked this video, I've done a few other English exposed videos, and I'll post them in the description box below, or you can click on the link. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep practicing.